Hi, this is Proact Sam from Living and Working Abroad. You can follow us on our blog at proactpartnership.com or at our Living and Working Abroad page on Facebook. And we've found a third way in the Brexit negotiations, which may at last bring a bit of peace of mind and certainty for expats living and working abroad. So let's look at EU Brexit for expats, how it stands now. After all this uncertainty of the last 18 months and 2 years since the Brexit vote in the UK, we've suddenly found some quick solutions. Why the sudden consensus of agreement? Was it coordinated actions? Was it planned all along? Or is it that a third way has suddenly erupted and been found by negotiators? 578-page withdrawal treaty suggests that it could be either, but it's not new. That the large parts of the agreement have taken place, and suddenly we know that Theresa May is on her own. She's largely been abandoned by the UK Parliament and Cabinet to either make this deal stick and get it through the British Parliament or not. We also know that over the last few months the UK have been publicly publishing their plans for a no-deal Brexit, and what impact has that had on the negotiations. The EU were already planning a no-deal Brexit, so it's not that it's something that the UK have done in isolation. The UK have just stepped up their act in recent months, and we now got a withdrawal treaty that's issued by the negotiating team, which encapsulates and protects expats' rights, EU expats in the UK and UK expats in Europe, as EU citizens going forward. And the withdrawal treaty, if agreed, would mean that there's a transition period before a long-term relationship between the UK and the EU is settled. So, as we've been saying over the last few months, in our humble view, in my humble view, all the issues with Brexit, all the issues are to do with a customs and a trade deal, how much tax the governments get, what is free trade. The EU is all about free trade within its borders. It might be expensive to get into and out of if you're a world trading organisation, but it's free within it. And there's a price to pay for membership of that union, to membership of that club, where you can trade across the EU borders without penalty. But anybody from outside that has got a price to pay. And this is the basis of the issue, and it was suddenly found this third way, either through design or through necessity. What the UK have done is accepted that they need to acknowledge and respect the EU customs treaty. So whether they're a third country or whether they're part of the EU, the customs treaty is still in existence. If Japan or Canada or Norway or Switzerland or Ukraine have got a trade deal with the EU, it's a customs agreement with the EU, and it allows those countries access to the whole of the EU's trading countries. But what's happened as well in this sudden onrush of cordial agreement, this third way, is that the EU have accepted that they can largely prepare a customs and a trade deal before the UK leaves. Now, they could have done this at any time in the last 18 months, but they're insisting, sticklers for procedure, as a bureaucratic commission would be, that they were determined to hold out, that they get the divorce deal before they start negotiating the trade deal. And precisely what we see now is that we've got the withdrawal treaty handed over to the EU Commission, who straight away have approved that within a couple of days, and called a summit meeting for the leaders to approve a political declaration in the next few days. So by next Sunday the 3rd, that this could be agreed by the politicians. It's then got to be approved by the parliaments, and they're looking for the parliaments of the European Union to have that approved and ratified by the 5th of December. So this is only just over a week away to suddenly get the whole agreement in place. And this is for Brexit with a business deal, with an outline of what the trade deal will be for the UK and the EU after Brexit. What we do know is that the UK and the EU have exactly the same trading standards and customs arrangements on the day that Brexit happens. And if the EU can take on board the idea of having a trade deal, then things could happen quite quickly. And all this will be settled by the 5th of November. So by then, we will know whether this proposed withdrawal treaty is going to be accepted or not. And the outcome may be that it's not, but there will still be a withdrawal treaty. It's just what we'll know by the end of next week is whether that includes a business and trade and customs deal or not. Either way, there's going to be political ramifications in Europe and the UK, but expats will begin to get some certainty on the outcome and the nature of Brexit for their family and business living and working abroad, for their investment in overseas property, and the impact on pensions and taxation in the next week. There's still things that we can do anyway to plan ahead, and if you want to find out more, go to our blog at productpartnership.com. You find out more information. We've also got a guide to how EU Brexit affects overseas pensions, property and business, and you can download a copy there. And like and share and comment our blogs, our vlogs and our podcasts, where you can watch, listen and read about how Product Partnership help family and business living and working abroad, relocating overseas and investing offshore to ensure that their family and business is protected across borders and down the generation. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.